Fill in the blanks. After a disappointing loss to the Broncos, the Dallas Cowboys will what versus the Falcons this week?
Well, we'll bounce back versus the Falcons. I mean, again, I know we're going to pick these games later, but I'm going to pick the Cowboys. I'm sorry. There we go. Oh, no, the cat's out of the bag. But, yes, I am. They're more talented. Like we talked about last segment, Dak Prescott was off his game. There's no doubt. Some mistakes and things happened where the game kind of rolled, got out of control a little bit. They got down 16, 19, nothing. They had to abandon the run game a little bit, even though they were having a little success there. So I don't expect to see that same performance. I think that offense is going to be back rolling this week. I would be shocked if not. So I expect to see Dak Prescott close to, what we saw before the injury in that offense, kicking some butt again.
Yeah, I don't want to tip our hand excessively, but we'll cover versus the Falcons is all I'll say for now. Because they're better than what we saw. They stepped on a rake.
Yeah.
We had the graphic the other day. It was the Cowboys who stepped on a rake against the Broncos. They thought they were too good. They overlooked their opponent, and the next thing you know, it was 30-0. Browns-Patriots game will come down to what, Chris?
The run game. The run game, and I want to kind of say it on both sides here. I'm not trying to cop out or anything like that, but, again, we know the Patriots' pass offense is not like special, but their last 4 or 5 weeks have started to dominate in the run game. With the three-headed monster of Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris, and Brandon Bolden. And Ramondre Stevenson, the rookie out of Oklahoma, changes their football team, in my opinion. He's the best out of the backfield catching the ball, and he's the best runner, period. He can run with power. He can make people miss. He's kind of special that way. But if, the Browns can slow that down, and the Browns don't have a ton of big people, they're a speed defense, that could be issues, certainly. And I want to flip it around, too, to where I want to go, can the Browns run on the Patriots? Because the Browns' pass game cannot stand alone, in my opinion. It cannot. It needs a run game. And if they start to not be able to run the ball, and I know there's no Nick Chubb, the Patriots are going to be able to break down what the Browns do in the pass game, and they'll be able to cover them man-to-man. They will. The Patriots' defense is one of the best in football, in my opinion. So I kind of look at it that way, Mike.
Yeah, I agree with you on both counts. And we saw what happened a couple of years ago when the Browns played in New England. Now they had Tommy at the time. It was a different team, but still Bill Belichick. And Kevin Stefanski, Coach of the Year, but Bill Belichick is showing that he's the master of taking whatever he has, figuring out what it's going to take to make it better, focusing on the strengths, minimizing the weaknesses,
right.
And his team gets better as the year goes on, and they are moving in the right direction. So, and you said no Nick Chubb, also still no Kareem Hunt.
Right.
It's going to be Dearness Johnson, who was great against the Broncos, but the Patriots aren't the Broncos.
That's right.
You mentioned Brandon Bolden. This guy's been around forever.
He was there, drafted when I was there.
And he's finally getting some real opportunities in the offense. He'd been a special teams guy all those years.
Yes.
He spent a year in Miami, too. Remember that?
Right.
But he's back, and he's finally getting some real opportunities. It's great to see. All right, the AFC West. In the AFC West. Let me try that again. In the NFC West. Or let me try that one more time. In the AFC West. Sorry. The blank will start separating themselves from the pack.
The nobody? I mean, nobody. I don't look at anybody going, oh, they're going to separate from the pack. Yeah, this team. I think all these teams have little issues, and then I think when you look at their schedules, they all have tough schedules down the stretch. So I can't sit here and pin it to oh, well, I see a lot of, this from this team. I mean, again, how can you totally get behind the Chargers? I know it was great on offense last week, but again, you saw their defense kind of get dominated and pushed around. It's hard to get behind that. The Chiefs are all over the place. The Raiders are a little bit of a roller coaster. The Raiders are the team I look at to be the most consistent, but I don't know if they're great and going to separate from the pack. So that's why I say the nobodies.
I think the Chiefs will.
You think the Chiefs will?
The longer the other three teams let the Chiefs hang around as they work through this period of dysfunction, they're going to wake up one day and say, you know what, we can take this division. And I don't know how much higher they climb on the playoff tree, but they can take that division, especially if they get OBJ.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.